Jimmy Swaggart dies at 90. A gospel powerhouse's final goodbye and the words that echoed in his last breath. July 1st, 2025. Jimmy Swaggart, the towering figure in televangelism whose voice and piano once filled homes across America, has died at age 90. A man of charisma and contradictions, Swaggart passed away quietly at his home in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. His death marks the end of an era in evangelical broadcasting and ignites fresh reflection on a life that was as inspiring as it was controversial. His final words, according to his family, "Let the blood of Jesus speak for me." Words that now carry the full weight of a legacy forged in fire, faith, and forgiveness. A Southern preacher born for the spotlight. Born March 15, 1935 in Faraday, Louisiana, Swaggart grew up in the sweltering heat of the American South, a cousin to rock and roll legend Jerry Lee Lewis and country singer Mickey Gilley. While his cousins pursued fame through music, Jimmy gravitated to a different kind of stage, the pulpit. By the 1970s, Swaggart was a household name in Christian America. His televised sermons, broadcast through the Jimmy Swaggart telecast, captivated millions with fiery conviction, passionate music, and a preacher's unmistakable Southern drawl. By the mid-'80s, his ministry had become a global force, spanning over 100 nations with satellite reach and radio domination. From glory to scandal and back again. But Swaggart's legacy is not easily defined. In 1988, a bombshell scandal involving a prostitute rocked the evangelical world. His emotional televised confession, "I have sinned," became one of the most infamous moments in religious broadcasting history. Another scandal followed in 1991, leading to his removal from the Assemblies of God. Many thought his ministry would collapse. It didn't. Instead, Swaggart retreated to Baton Rouge and began rebuilding. Through the Family Worship Center and his own Sun Life Broadcasting Network, he returned to the airwaves, preaching to millions once again. Not as a perfect man, but as a redeemed one. The cause of death and family's tribute. According to a statement from the Swaggart family, Jimmy died from complications related to congestive heart failure. Surrounded by his closest loved ones, including his wife of 70-plus years, Frances, and his son, Donnie, his final moments were peaceful, they said. His last words were shared publicly. "Let the blood of Jesus speak for me." Those words sum up everything he believed, said Donnie Swaggart. Even in his final breath, my father leaned not on his works, but on grace. A musical ministry like no other. Swaggart wasn't just a preacher. He was a gospel artist with soul. Known for his heartfelt renditions of hymns like "There Is a River" and "Jesus Use Me," he released more than 50 albums and earned multiple gold records. To his followers, he wasn't only delivering sermons, he was singing them. His ministry blended message and melody in a way few others ever could. A divided yet lasting impact. To some, Jimmy Swaggart was a fallen hero. To others, he was a redeemed shepherd who never stopped feeding his flock. For all, he was undeniably impactful. His critics questioned his judgment. His supporters never doubted his sincerity. But almost everyone agrees, Swaggart changed the face of televised Christianity forever. Tributes pour in. Tributes came from around the globe, from preachers, musicians, and ordinary believers who tuned into his Sunday services for decades. Jimmy Swaggart was a spiritual father to me, said Bishop Charles Davis, who leads a large Pentecostal congregation in Atlanta. He showed us that God's grace really is sufficient. Even longtime friend-turned-critic Revisor Alan Hicks remarked, "He was flawed, no doubt, but his voice carried a truth people hungered for." What comes next? The Family Worship Center will hold a week of memorial services. A national broadcast tribute is scheduled on the Sun Life Network, and his son Donnie is expected to continue the ministry's leadership. In his honor, the ministry announced the establishment of the Jimmy Swaggart Foundation for Gospel Media, aimed at supporting young preachers and musicians entering Christian broadcasting. A final curtain call. At the height of his influence, Jimmy Swaggart was reaching nearly 2 million viewers weekly. He didn't just preach about heaven, he made people feel a step closer to it. Now, the man whose voice once thundered across pulpits and living rooms alike has fallen silent. But his last whispered prayer, "Let the blood of Jesus speak for me," might just be the truest sermon he ever gave. Would you like this styled as a YouTube video script, a voiceover,